All right, folks, we are back in campaign 19. We are beginning the battle on the wilderness map that we left off last episode with. It's day 2. Not much happened in day 1. We have the victory point. So there's a 5-pointer here. It's a little hard to see, but my mouse is circling it. The 3-pointer down here helps, but it's not that essential. And the other 5 is here. So it's pretty much a case of control any 2, and you control the terrain, and the other side has to attack you. McDowell's division is here first. We've spotted the enemy. McDowell is up. We don't need to get Wright killed for nothing. We know where they're going. So we're going to pull Wright's cavalry back here. I'm going to put you all on pause because, why stay out here? But I wanted to show you how things start. We have 2 friendly divisions that have come in over here. One is going to try to replace McDowell over here on the right. Another is going to come over on the left, and we'll see what happens. All right, so enemy cav is leading the way, as they should. Somehow, most of my artillery, I think all but maybe this battery, actually have line of sight. Looked like there was some... Yeah, there was some smoke coming out of the other ones, but it's only this battery here that doesn't have line of sight. So maybe if we move them over there, we'll get some line of sight. But it's a wilderness map. I'm not going to rely too heavily on artillery to carry the day. There are limited open places where you can kind of force the enemy to come across, and this is one of them. So we'll see if they stop and they deploy in a line here just east of the Wilderness Church. If they do, again, we have 1 division that's waiting to meet them. Wright did pull over here pretty well, so I have little to complain. His scouts are there. I think I want to send them a little bit further down toward the Brock Road just to see if they're going to go for the 3-pointer. If they do, they do. If they don't, it's fine. But this is going to be... It's going to be a while before reinforcements are here. So I think it's still safe to put you all back on pause and just wait for some action to develop. But I wanted you to see how the AI is pulling up on us. All right, so since the AI has kind of deployed, you can see that some of it has deployed. Other parts of it are back here, are still forming out. The AI artillery is back there. It's been firing. Some of them are emerging from the tree line. It's probably going to be as good as it gets. Let's go ahead and see what we get. Admittedly, this is not the best, but it's more important that I have cover than that I'd be getting a million kills here with my skirmishers. We're just seeking to delay until overwhelming numbers end up on our side. You can see the friendly artillery passing overhead, the shells passing overhead. Yeah, some of these units are so beat up we can't even kick out skirmishers, so welcome to my life. Alright, you all can kind of see something. They look like they're doing a thing. They're doing a thing, so I'm okay. As long as they're shooting at something, I'm fine with that. So we pretty much expected this advance. Yeah. Down here, it doesn't look like Wright sees anything, so I think we'll pull, not the skirmishers back, but the actual unit back a little bit closer. And they're going to push our skirms off. It's okay. They're out there to delay, do a few casualties. These skirms luckily got, I think, in the creek bed, right? Yeah, they did. So they got some cover. Some of the angles here need to be adjusted, as you can see, but it's mostly right. Okay, those are skirms under William T. Sherman. You can see they've cleared off the skirms in the middle, as they should have. I think there's more that are coming over here to my left, but the big push here is pretty much in the center, maybe slightly to the center right. We'll turn to face them. Alright, Baker's decided with his mixed muskets that was enough. And again, we do have other regiments. We have, I think, 1 or 2 regiments in reserve here. If we, yeah, we have 2 regiments in reserve. We have skirmishers up here. So if we can deal with that threat on the right, that'll be fine. Reinforcements are still a ways out. Wright's cavalry is still coming in. I don't think we need scouts in anymore, so we'll recall them. But yeah, this is their time. If they're willing to run forward, they might be able to break this position. But if they don't break this position, I don't like their long-term chances. Okay, we're gonna move this brigade up so it's in contact with the fence. Right, 20% cover is better than no cover. And if we can kind of neutralize the attacks on either flank, then we can focus everybody on the fight in the middle. See, the artillery kind of has shots. Might be about it for our skirms. Push on the left, we'll watch. We're dropping them. Clayton Sr. don't like that. And this is the bigger push from earlier. You can see the push on the right. Oh, that shell. I hope y'all saw that, because it was cool. We've gone for the more compact double line, because I think it was going to be a narrow front we would get attacked across, and we're playing for time. Hopefully, as regiments got bled out, we could pull them back. Burnside's a little bit there. Uh-oh, Howard, not so much. Franklin, not too bad yet. Shank is really doing well, but again, these are regiments, not brigades, so those casualties do add up. Alright, given the size of Burnside's regiment, I want them back. Porter has a much more full regiment, so we're going to send them up. Drake's regiment tested the waters. It was not for them. And the only reason why I kind of oh, Franklin. I did not see those casualties fall in there. I'm going to try to get you to retreat. Probably have Baker come up and take your place. Probably don't even have to do that, but we'll give him the advance order. Until we have to worry more, we'll angle McLean in. Burge is fine. Franklin, alright. We've already moved Franklin back. Doesn't look like it was fast enough. They're gone. That's their lost resilience. We're not going to win them all. We're not. Shank is getting bled a bit. But Tyler behind him is fine. Sherman's fine. Maybe we can put Mills. Well, you know what? They're falling back on the right anyways. So I'm not going to worry about... I just see CSA getting... Yeah, Tune is getting tuned there. It's getting flattened by that lead wall we've put up. Never mind the fence. That's not the real issue. It's the lead wall. And now they would like no more of that. John Jackson's regiment, Sanders' regiment, John Sanders' regiment is there. Alright, Burnside's getting healthy. I think that was a fine hold. Now it looks like the bigger threat is on our left, where there's 2 healthy regiments. Honestly, against... They might only be engaged with 1 at the moment. Okay, Iverson's pulling back. That might be the end of this battle. No, it's not. They're just pulling back for reasons really unknown. But I suppose that regiment needs to learn, and then these ones need to learn, and that'll be it. Alright. Since this point hasn't turned red, I'll assume that that was not a real attack. I do see things coming up the pike. I was tempted to push this group up. You know what? While it's a bit of a lull in fighting, I'm going to pull Shank back. I think it's worth it to have a unit up there to catch them if they come out of the tree line into the open and make them pay a price for that. And then Dixon Miles, I guess, will be the functional reserve regiment in that brigade. Baker's taking casualties on the way in, but Burge's group regiment is shooting them. They may just be out of range of McLean. And if they are, I think we're going to try to move McLean's troops up to the creek. I think it's the same cover modifier. And so just a small advance there. Alright, let's see if that... Yeah. At least now Baker's groups are shooting back. Call them groups, but they are regiments. They look Confederate, but we are Union. The scaling is a little bit off, as you can see. The men are 2 or 3 times taller than the snake fence. But we're now in the realm of nitpicking. Okay, we're going to straighten that regiment up. They may not have targets now that Baker's here. Do they have the creek? They say they're still in the fence. So the Rebs are renewing push in the center. Rutledge's regiment is fine. Good is good for now. Good is good for now. But he's getting 3v1. Okay, Blanker should be pulled back. Porter's getting he's getting roughed up. He is. And the last regiment we can send forward from this brigade is Taylor's. After that, that was a cool show. It's kind of do as well as you... That was cool too. Alright, without any sort of renewed attack on the right, I am going to send those 3 regiments up to try to relieve some pressure on the center. Miles is going to stay back on the right. right. Richardson. Yeah, Richardson, fine. Oh. Shank. I apologize. Shank should continue backwards. Okay, it's Tyler. We should move up. Alright. Yeah, I was probably a little more conservative than I had to be there. Oh, David Porter is dead. That is not cool. Okay, we're gonna move this battery back just to bring it in line with the others. But I don't know that the CSA have a good path down this road. Yeah, kind of look at the casualties might have been turning against them. John Lane is doing alright. But I believe they're at a numerical disadvantage, and so the longer they stay here, the worse it gets for them. And frankly, pulling up, I mean, we'll take a look at the CSA point of view here. It's not pretty, right? Like that was going to be a tough attack. I don't know if those are skirmishers as AIs kicking out to cover their retreat, but I think we held a decent position. This is probably superfluous. I mean, if the CSA had units that were ready to go, they would punish us here for the greed, but the order made sense when I gave it. I think what really needs to happen now... Let's see. We don't need the division command. We need Hunter's... Yeah, we probably have to pull Hunter's brigade out when we get a brigade that can reinforce it. I appreciate the effort, and you did follow orders, but I don't think this is what we need the most. Sherman's group maybe can stay there, but the rest will pull back so they don't get to trade volleys with us from cover in the tree line. We'll pull back to the creek and we'll give them an open field they can walk through. But yeah, definitely Hunter in the middle needs to be pulled back. I think this brigade is fairly beat up Wilcox. I mean, yeah, they're not super beat up, right? 268 casualties, 1,800 men still fighting. But if any of those regiments get beat up, we have a hole in our line. So did the regiment I sent up here... Okay, so Blanker had to be pulled back, Porter had to be pulled back, Burnside had to be pulled back. Yeah, I think maybe that's just our line now. And so we'll send them back here. Looks like it's mostly skirms that are pushing up for the CSA. Which is fine to annoy us and maybe get a favorable casualty trade. Though I'm not even sure of that because we're throwing so much more lead back in their direction. And we do have some cover. I don't know, do these guys have it? Yeah, so they have the fence. I bet these guys don't. They don't. Okay, that house is unfortunately falling. We're going to give them that attack order, I think just so they come in contact with the fence, so I think we get like a 20% cover modifier. And here I think the volume of lead we're throwing at those skirmishers should eventually force them back. And again, we are the side that is playing for time. I did not take out all of that artillery, so I definitely ought to have. But we could set up more artillery here. Benham is back there. Yeah, forgot to move them entirely. But we could put them over there. I don't think any of that's worth it, but Sherman's going to stay there just to cover the withdrawal of Davies and Taylor, the remnants of Hunter's brigade, if he has to. But I'm not sure what the CSA's plans are. If they don't do something soon, I'm going to put you on pause. Because I am trying to eliminate the downtime. That cav might be preparing for a rearguard action. It's not at the point of no return, it's just at the point of a very difficult attack because the numbers are turning against them. So, as I look at this map, even though some units are moving forward, I think I'd rather put you on pause because it's going to be a slow approach, and I don't know if they're actually going to make it, and then I'll bring you back in if there is something to show you. Alright, so I might as well bring you in before it ends. Maybe we pulled a little bit further ahead, but the AI apparently has a force aligned in the woods, and they could come forward. In the meantime, though, we've also got our reinforcements in, so that's good news. So we don't need the artillery there, but we could use Seymour's brigade to replace Hunter's. So we'll order them forward. Kearney can come up here on the left. It's probably overkill, but why not? And that leaves Hatch's infantry maybe to replace Wilcox on the left when the time comes. All right, let's zoom in. Whoa, not that much. Yeah, this is an okay amount. We'll do our quasi-cinematic here. Do we not have an angle, or we don't have a range on them? Maybe Sherman's guys... Alright, Sherman's guys have taken enough casualties. I know winter time is coming, and eventually with that we will get... we'll get some replenishment going on, but it's not here yet. So I think our left and our center is going to get strengthened before other things. That's fine. I'm going to move Burnside back. Those are all the beat up regiments from Hunter. We're just going to move them to a kind of new reserve position, and even though the artillery here has targets, I'm going to push them forward. They don't have targets, so I'm going to push them up. That might allow all 4 batteries in that artillery brigade to do something. Okay, Sherman's falling back. You can see what we've done with no man's land. I don't know. The CSA is dithering, and it's just not something they can do. And I realized when I clicked down here, before anybody actually thinks I'm good at this game, I have 23,000 troops. The AI has an estimated 10,000. So there's still work to be done tuning the strategic AI to get its armies to concentrate and to do its strength calculations. But it's an imperfect process, and it's one that may never happen with me. So, but I would like it to get done. I think the AI does a very reasonable job in battle now, but elsewhere I'm not so sure. All right, it feels like maybe it's an attack that won't happen. So if it does, I'll bring you back. But otherwise, this is a battle that the CSA is playing to not lose, which will cause them to lose, rather than playing it as a battle to win. I think that window has passed. All right, so I bring you back in the CSA's perspective, right? This is what they have, and yeah, I mean, lucky you if you've never seen one of these episodes from me before, but you can probably tell what I'm thinking if you have played this before, which is just that my patience is up. The AI is not attacking. They ought to be attacking. And so I'm going to start off first with a push here on the CSA right. I don't think it's that great, but I want something to happen. I feel like if I do a few more casualties, right, if we get them over 23%, and they're at almost 20% now, they're going to lose. Ooh, Iverson Jr. is going in now. Iverson Jr. has already been in combat. So I'm not sure what the thought is here. Yeah, and you can see he's lost a lot since the last time I seen him, but he was not fresh when I saw him earlier. We pulled Hunter out. Some of the stuff on my right, the CSA's left, is not in place, but that also looks like it's a little bit more well defended by the CSA. So I'm going to send this slow push up here on the right and see if I can get them to react. Let's see. Hatch is moving up. Hatch is fresh. Wilcox isn't I could probably send Wilcox up. You can see the CSA's falling back here. They've ready to move. I don't know if they've already decided to retreat. Was that it? That might have been it. I think right around this point in the victory bar that the AI starts thinking about calling it a map. And so if that's what they've decided, well, I don't blame them. They probably hung around a little longer than they should have. But I'm not going to rush the attack over here where they were a bit thicker. I mean, they are pulling back through the woods, but eventually those troops are going to end up on the road and they're going to hightail it. So who knows how much of this is actually true? You certainly don't love falling back under fire. It's got a morale penalty attached to it. Reno is not in bad shape. Flat's not in bad shape. So, yeah, Toon is broke. Klingman is there, but I think he's about to stand alone here, right? Okay. Enemies retreating. They're not going to come back from that. And I don't think I'm going to catch any of these guys. Yeah, it looks real doubtful coming through the woods. I mean, maybe there's something I can do over here, but it may well not be worth it. We'll engage a little bit. I don't want the rear guard action of the enemy to get too much credit. We'll push them up there. Oh, did we break? No, we didn't break Harris over here, but life's also not great for him. We can send Reno that way. I think we probably want Flad to try to deal with this. Oh, and Winston's about to break there, so. Alright, well, good luck to them. Harris, he's probably going to get broken now. Yeah. Philip shows up behind him. He can't be happy to see that, and that is a whole brunch? How about, well, it might be a whole brunch, but no, it's afternoon. It's a whole bunch of broken CSA units, and that'll be it. All right, the papers tell us they lost 350. We lost basically 300. Blah, blah, blah. We got some rifles, a few pieces of artillery. I know I have no prison camps built. They probably won't get built in this war. I don't know that we're ever going to get a CCC- credit rating, but it is what it is. Now, if that... Yeah, that was over here, because it said it was the Battle of Fredericksburg. Even though we didn't get the pretty sweet Fredericksburg map, the bad side here is that we are at atrocious readiness. Sometimes what the AI does in these situations, and I'm not going to keep you zoomed in on the campaign map if nothing's going to happen here, is that they'll just hurl forces at you, and you'll just eventually have to pull back due to readiness. So we might be there. I see Stribling. I'm not blind, right? Kilpatrick is coming in. I'm kind of hoping he makes the interception there. Wadsworth, Cox Jr. I'm less certain about them. We did get a supply depot up here down at Stanton, and so there's an opportunity to maybe push in and harass at least up to Charlottesville, Virginia here. Remember, we took Richmond, and the AI decided to counterattack us rather than to retake Richmond. And so that's not what I wanted to click on. That is. And so their national morale, actually it's come up a little bit, but they would have more back if they retook the national capital, but they haven't done it. And so yikes them. They actually did get recruiting a little bit, so I'm not sure how that happened, but their national support is still good. Yeah, at 86 it's better than mine. So I'm not too surprised there. What? Okay, so this was I didn't realize that Stribling was that small, but yeah, so we got like 8,000. They got about 5,000. It's Kilpatrick. It's mano y mano, which it's probably been a little while since we've had that, but I've had so many battles here in 1861. It's hard to tell. But yeah, I'll fight it. We'll see what the map looks like. We'll see what the morale is. But this is one it kind of matters, right? Because if Stribling gets around us, he might be able to cut a supply depot. And if we cut supplies to our low readiness troops in Virginia, that just compounds the problem of them not getting their readiness back more quickly. And so we don't want to lose the battle. And Kilpatrick is one of the few, might be the only Union division that's kind of in the eastern half of Virginia that has readiness above the orange level. All right, so quick check on the map. Is Winchester map. If you watch this, you know I like the Winchester map. We don't have a huge deployment area. It's okay. We have to make it down to, so it's a meat engagement. Nobody has anything yet. It looks like the CSA is likely to come in on the southeastern part of the map. It's only a 3-point victory point. There's nothing else. A lot of the maps will spawn multiple ones as I've modded it. This one won't. The forces are relatively small. It's fine. So, you know, what kind of battle is this going to be? I would say, given that there's only one low point victory point, and the morale is basically even. All right, so the CSA has a slight advantage of 25 over 24.2. This is one that's largely going to be decided by the forces. I don't know anything about their forces off the top of my head. I don't know if they're particularly adept or not, but this is one where we kind of just want to bring them to battle and whoop them. So the roads here give us a small number of options. This option down here, I'm not trying to, I guess if I'm attacking, it's not really corner camping, right? We could try to use that road and come up. And the reason why I would like it is that there are fences along the way that we might be able to use, and it's a road so we can move fairly quickly. And if they try to form over here, we could always form in line, but I'm a little concerned about going wide and then pushing through an open field. That's how you lose a numerical advantage. Over here, the Bufflick Road, eventually you get down into more cover, and then I think it's a matter of just concentrating your forces and pushing. So I'm leaning towards attacking this way. We have artillery, they have some artillery, but given that I have the infantry advantage, I'd just like it to be an infantry fight. If we can do 50-50 casualties, given the size of our force, I think we're okay. So I'm going to put you on pause. I'm going to move forward. Well, you know, it's 3:30 in the afternoon, and so my guess is not much is going to happen on this first day. We'll see, and I'll bring you back when I have something to show you. All right, so sure enough, the CSA just got the victory point before me. It is getting late here in the day, and so we're going to send, yeah, we actually have Wilder doing the cav thing, so we're going to send Wilder over into the forest here. We've ordered up most of the infantry. Yeah, Gross is fine there. We're actually going to try to get him in the woods right there before nightfall. Kilpatrick. Where are you going? Once you keep going up there, that's fine. And I think everybody else kind of just needs to fall on you. Sickles doesn't have to be quite that far. I don't have to order him that far back. I think we can get in here. I mean, there's a little bit of a concern, right? If the CSA just kind of gets a concave in the woods, that gives them a cover advantage. Cover gives them a morale advantage. But we also have cover through the forest and the stream here, and also through the forest here and the fence up here a little bit. So I think we're okay. I don't think we're quite at the point where we need to bring you all back in, but we're getting there. All right, this is us going into day 2 here. We made it up as far as you can see. I don't actually know if the AI is aligned where it showed it was, but the plan is just to move forward. I mean, as best we can. If they are in fact back as far as they appeared, I don't know if I brought you guys in. It appeared that many of them were over here. Then I don't think my artillery, which is, we had a few engineering points, so I stuck them on here. It's basically aiming down this road, but the idea is to push up with 2 brigades here. Well, some of that looks like it was correct. Garfield. I actually did that wrong, right? Sickles should move up first because he's probably got the furthest route to go, but I thought my right might be the first to be engaged, so we're going to move them up like that. We can speed it up here because we can. It's a relatively small group, right? Kilpatrick is the guy, and we don't have to wait for orders to come down from an HQ command or anything like that. Man, we can see some movement out here. I suppose that's because our cav is coming to the edge of the woods. I guess that'll be our roleplay explanation, right? You can roleplay explain almost anything away if you want to, so... That's that. Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job avoiding our artillery, if that was a significant concern of ours. But apparently we can't avoid theirs. I just don't know that it matters all that much. We'll put our artillery here just in case it can actually see something. See something, shoot something, right? That has not yet appeared in our public safety announcements, but that's the basic idea here. All right, you're going to move up. Gross is going to move up. Garfield's going to move up there. I think that'll be okay. Sickles is okay. And we'll just speed it up because we're not actually fighting. We're just moving to the fight.
Keep it steady now. Sarge, I'm scared. On me. Right shoulder wounded. Keep moving.
Don't stop for the wounded. Did I move them up? I guess I did. It was a tad loud, at least for me. I don't know how it was for you, but... Alright, they've done that. Really odd frame things. Frame rates thought they were running at 80. Like, I don't think you're running naturally at 80, even with lossless scaling up in the background. I don't think you're running at 80. All right, Sickles is in position. That's fine. We'll move him that way. Yeah, I do see the potential gap. Push Garfield up here. Gross is there. Gross, we're just going to hold off on sending up too much further. I think the plan might be to either have Wilder try to hold as much of that brigade back as he can. Oh my goodness, it's now playing an echo because there's so many people that are scared. Yeah. I mean, the AI's chosen good ground, I think, considering you have that line. I probably would have done something with the angle. On the tactical battle side, well, I think the AI genuinely does a good job. It's still this enduring problem that I think has been here since probably the game's launch. And there are settings in the files that appear to change this, but I haven't figured out what the sauce is. When the AI sees the angle is off, they wait too long to react to it. Other things it does well, but that it does not do well. Okay, let's get facing forward. All right, we've actually taken a fair number of casualties, so we don't want this going on all day. Do you, you really don't have angles? Really? Really, really? Well, that's just not cool. All right, we'll move you up, but I'm not going to worry more about the artillery. The artillery is mostly a morale thing. All right, Sickles is going to come together over there. I'm not going to advance behind skirmishers. I think right, but they should already be shifting, maybe back into that creek bed. If I can see them, they can see me, and I'm pretty sure the AI always knows where I am. So I don't know what the issue is there, but again, Sickles with the longest route to go. Here, we'll move up. Unfortunately, I guess that's telling me that Kilpatrick's not close enough to tell them to advance forward and kind of charge out anybody in front of them. Over here. Okay, well, we didn't mean to take Kilpatrick. We meant to take... We'll get him eventually. There we go. Garfield's brigade. Just something of an odd section there. Yeah, they are close enough. We can give them a charge order. And Gross, I think we just want to bring up to the tree line there, and then the Cav Wilders. Cav will have move up there, but it looks like the AI is just gonna send into the forest here, which, all right, fine. We'll get the end-on view here. The armies meeting. I think it still looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. There we go. Yeah. We'll try to do something like that. Maybe close up on this brigade here. Alright, Wilder thinks he's going to get the angle, but maybe 2 brigades plus the cav is going to be enough to get this brigade out of the fight. Yeah, it's really too bad we did not give them the charge order. Are we close enough now? We can do it now. So we can throw those skirmishers back as our main infantry units come up. Not sure how great it is for CSA already to be shooting through the woods, but they got to do something here. Yeah, we just need this cav to creep up. I think this regiment, yeah, Wright is in trouble, so he's smartly pulling back. I think a little too late. Alright. The other 2 regiments, though, in that brigade they're in a good spot. Waiting for Garfield to get in position. No, we don't need that. We just need them to... That's silly. We just need them to rotate. I don't know why it's being that difficult. Usually you can just kind of... Oh my goodness, that's stupid. Alright, they broke, that's fine. Yeah, we need that cav to come up. We can see they are going to send Wilson's regiment in to replace the one that just broke. I know Bayard is out too far. We'll have him lay down so friendlies behind can shoot. Over in the woods, I know they have the creek bed, but we have a forest. You know, it's not like we're without our own. Certainly attacking up this hill is not going to be great, so we kind of just want to embed ourselves and then shoot. And hopefully this push sweeps them aside. Yeah, this cav unit here is doing the work. You know, remaining problems with the AI. There are still too many units that are unengaged in a fight, and they should all kind of be dealing with this, right? If that cav regiment and infantry regiment were over here, it would make it a lot harder to get around the flank. Garfield's troops are the ones well, what condition are they in? That is too bad. They're just going to be there a while, so I think we just have to embed ourselves and shoot, which was the plan. Alright. Yeah, but I mean, that regiment and that cav regiment either should be coming down on my right, or they should be back here making this flank more difficult to pull off, because as it is, yeah, I mean, they have mixed muskets. It's a problem I had for a long time. But without that extra infantry and cav over here, I'm able to creep my cav up on the flank. And they're responding to it, but the consequence is they keep falling back and changing the angle. And that's eventually going to allow us to pull up. It looks like Bayard hitting the dirt wasn't enough to save him. That is okay. But we are going to send up Gross's brigade, which is otherwise in a strong position. They have cav now covering them well. And so we're going to send them up, have Wilder's cav shoot anything that tries to stop this advance. And once that advance moves up, we'll leapfrog Wilder out. But it looks like, for now, the action is turned over here. The mixed muskets shouldn't do bad at close range. Whoa! There we go. But you can understand why I'm hesitant to attack up there, I think. Yeah, I don't think Wright's Regiment's going to be around much longer. They do have skirms down here. Yeah, too many wasted units that are not in the fight when they need to be on the AI side. Bit of bunching up. Alright, Wright's unit's breaking back towards friendlies. No surprise there. Again, I think Matt Ector would... Oh, okay, well I guess they've ordered themselves forward. Alright, Wilder should come over here. Yeah, I'm not sure what coming out of that ravine is going to do, but... Van Cleve. Alright, well, it's going to be the end of that battle. Again, when you got something like a almost 50% relative manpower advantage, it's easy to feel like you're good at this game, and trust me, I've played it enough to know I'm not. And I remember the earlier battles when we had a 50% manpower advantage and we still lost, so it happens. It was a weird one. It was like we lost, but then after we had been told that we had to retreat, we actually routed the entire enemy force, but it has to do with the strength calculations, and I've modded it in ways I don't regret, but sometimes there are odd things like that that happen. We got a little bit of a rear guard action going on here. We should try to engage that so it can't just... hit us. I don't think that's going to do anything. Alright, let's fast forward through here to the end. Yeah. Wow. What? What is this? Self-propelled artillery? I saw... Yes, it is. It is... it is a different kind of self-propelled artillery. Anyways, our army is victorious. So that was... yeah, that was cool. But we're going into the winter of 61-62. And... you know, as much as I feel like I kind of have the Rebs on the run early on, I could probably use a moment to reset here, get some of my beat up regiments replenished. Now, there are a number with experience. It's just that they've led a lot of casualties here. I've been putting them work. We're waiting for more small arms to be produced. They're being produced, but they only come out so quickly, and then we'll distribute them to the men as we can. Right now, I would say most divisions, or the brigades of most divisions, are somewhere between 40 and 60% upgraded weapons. But that means the other 40 to 60% are dealing with mixed muskets and or Springfield muskets, the 1842s. And so while they've been modded to be good at close range, the longer ranges are rough. And if you have them with green troops, they tend to get beat up before they even get into battle. So this was the scene of our last battle that we just got out of. You can see we're suffering in triple C minus credit rating. I think the CSAs is slightly better because they've been in a crisis, and so they have to focus on it. We haven't been in that crisis as much, so we're okay. But it's really army upkeep that is just, it's brutal. Supply depots to a degree, but it's really that. I mean, at least as a union, the revenue from tariffs isn't bad. I don't know. So we have surplus here. Yeah, the CSA's surplus is worse, probably because they don't have the tariff revenue to make that work. So, and I guess I could find out by doing it this way. See, look, our tariff revenue has actually jumped because we did the Tariff Act, and CSA, that's a big source of revenue they don't have. So we're okay in that regard. Projects, admin reform, I'm not going to do. Counter propaganda, I'm probably not going to do. Propaganda, I will do. I will take national support, particularly early on. Civ order is one I'd prefer to do. If we were hurting for volunteers, I would say maybe we need to move into enlistment offices. But no, we have a potential pool of 91,000 volunteers, and we haven't even moved on to the draft acts or anything like that. So I'll focus on the economy for now. I believe we're doing the Bank Act 1. Oh, we are, and it's almost done. So, I mean, with that, we get a boost to our credit rating, so I can complain less on that front, but I'll still complain. We're going to get, kind of quietly in the background, $120 million per year, but our national support takes a big dip of -5. But because the thing that we're struggling with the most right now is credit rating and the finances, it felt like it was the right time to do it. This was a... well, it's squadron v squadron. What do they have? Ships tender, gunboat. Well, I didn't have time to read all of that, but I gather it was not good. And we lost, yet they are also retreating. Not retreating, they're moving, but it looks like we're going into Cairo, Illinois to repair, and we will have some things to do for them. We can't really build a whole lot of new ships because we have that triple C minus credit rating. Yeah, so they sunk some, captured some. I kind of hope... Actually, I'm pretty sure this is right. I don't love it. Burns is over here. Yeah, we'll give him... That flag is fine. Walker's division... Is that 5,000? All right. So, what is going on here? What is this? This is another battle in Tennessee. All right. So initially, we're going to have the advantage. Then after 13 hours, they're going to have an advantage. But 5 hours after that, the advantage will be ours. And then... So, yeah. We'll see whether it's an attack or defense map. But this is certainly one we want to fight. We don't want to leave it up to the ambiguous calculations of the AI. So we'll get in there, we'll fight, we'll see how it goes, and hopefully we get a win. All right, so this is the battlefield as we enter it. We have 23 engineering points, which is nice. We also get to defend, which is pretty nice. And it's a 10-pointer, 5-pointer. It's Wade's Mill, which is the only one that really matters. And I think the territory pretty much tells you how I would think about defending it. Over here on maybe the extreme left, which I don't even know if the AI would try to get to. There aren't like a lot of easy roads that dump them out here, but I would think you could use the rail line over an open field. That would be fine. You could try to use the rail line in the forest over here on the left. And then the overall creek, yeah, the overall creek is probably the thing that pins the right, and so they're kind of forced into this. If they come around this back way, we're just gonna turn around and shoot them. I think we'll be okay with that. That's gonna be a long time play, but I think the idea is probably going to be to use the engineering points we have, maybe to stiffen up the approaches along the road and the open ground that comes over it, and dare them to come forward. I don't care at all about that 5-pointer. I really wouldn't invest. I don't think I would invest too much in it. It can be hit from a number of directions, and I believe that this is all, yeah, so it's all, I think it's all vegetation, so I think it's pretty hard to see into it. So let me set up my defenses, wait for the enemy to come forward, and then I'll show you what I have. So it didn't take me long to screw things up too much, which, par for the course. But we sent Landrum up to scout because when I realized this is the only road they have, it seemed like the most likely way in was to just come up to Murfreesboro Pike and then come straight down. So I sent Landrum up, not thinking that they would be anywhere near me. And yeah, their cav came up just as we missed them. And so I'm going to try to extract them. We'll see. We don't actually need... I thought we had scouts out. I guess we don't. But that's kind of an early engagement. Gives the division command. Couch is up there. This is what we ended up going with. A bunch of level 3 parapets. And again, I'm completely willing to cede the 5-pointer over there because it's just not important. The 2 fastest ways in are going to be through those woods. There is a fence here. I thought this fence would be in range of the forest, and so it would lose a lot of its advantage. And so rather than give them the fence for free or give them an even exchange by going fence for fence or fence for forest, build a level 3 parapets and covered the fences so that we'll be able to shoot them if they try to come up to them. And if not, they're just going to have to stand out in the open. And then it's just a matter of where we position the 3 brigades. Nothing too fancy. Peck on the right, Dana on the left, Alexander in the middle, and Barry's artillery. Probably going to line them up to shoot down the road and have Dana straddling one side, and then have, Alexander's brigade straddling the other, and hopefully the artillery can just shoot right down. But we probably wouldn't be able to hit too much of value if it ends up in the woods. So that's it. I don't think there's too much you need to see while we try to get our cav back. Without it getting completely murdered, we can see more evidence of what's coming our way. And so we kind of know how to plan for this. All right, so yeah, we're running about 20x. Yeah, see, they look like they're following Landrum over here to the 5-pointer because that was easy. So I'm pretty glad I didn't overcommit to centering up on this. No reason to get my cav wiped here. So that is something I would do, but we're gonna pull that back. I think Gibbs is already kind of moving himself over there. We're going to take Peck, who is sitting in reserve, and we're going to put him... yeah, right there is fine. We can finagle the regiments after that. We're a little bit tangled up. Alexander's brigade, I think, can fit like that. And then Dana... Again, I don't know how much Barry's artillery really matters. At this point, we might just move Barry's artillery up there and see if they can shoot. We'll have the boys lay down until, they have to stand up to shoot. But I think we can comfortably put Dana here, speed it up. Let's see here. Landrum is down. And as you can see, it's not going to be too far to pull him back. And by the time the infantry regiments get there and we kick out some skirmishers, our cav should be well covered. But we can give a lot of ground. I don't have to contest it all. But when it is time to make a stand, I hope we're in decent shape to do it. Yeah, you're there. And so these regiments could always be pulled over here. Okay. You should be the 3rd Regiment out there. I think the rest of these can probably move themselves like that. You can get off the road over here. Apparently they can see something, so we'll just let them tee off. All right, Dana's getting in position. I don't know how big of an attack this is, so why don't we... Is that the brigade command right there? Yeah. We can certainly kick out skirmishers. Same with anytime now, man. Yeah, so I don't know if this is accurate. If it is, I understand the desire to not attack entrenched positions, although I did change the debug so that they wouldn't try to flank it, because it's... I know it sounds like maybe you're trying to beat up on a hapless AI. That's not really the plan. It's just that, where do you go if you're going to flank it? Are you going to come all the way around here? Like, I'm not going to see... You're going to come over here, get on the road here, come on the trail here, and then cross an open field with that? Or are you going to come over here and then try to force those 2 crossings simultaneously? And I'm just going to kind of be on the back end shooting everybody that comes out. It all seems bad to me. And so I think sometimes the AI gave a little too much respect for these entrenchments, which are very good if it's mono-y-mono versus, relatively even units. But a lot of times that doesn't hold. And so when it doesn't, it might make more sense to go through. Frequently, that's what I'll try. If I don't think I can get around, I'll usually try to go through whatever the enemy has. I don't love... Are you kidding me? You guys are actually trying it. Maybe they're actually trying. I was going to pull the cav off here just to the right now that I already have my skirmishers up. But they can also probably provide me some sight about what's going on my right. And we'll just wait and see. It doesn't feel like we have to keep you in here because they haven't committed to an attack. It's an artillery duel, which is cool, but I don't know. It feels like it's lacking a bit. So you're not firing. I don't know if that's an angle thing or if it's a friendlies thing. You say you're not firing. I'm sure you're not. Can we get you all? Okay. Well, they look like some of them were firing. You know what? Maybe we'll just drag that 1 battery down here. Yeah. That seems okay. I was going to have the rest lay down, but it doesn't feel as important anymore. 7 casualties on my cav. I think we can just have... Oh, alright, so there's a little bit of an advance here. Alright. So I think I complained in the previous battle about some of the things I just haven't figured out how to do with the AI. And I thought I had modded it for the AI to generally group up and then attack. But it seems like... Now that I'm really focused on it, they don't seem to be doing it as well. When the AI is on defense, it feels like it frequently does a better job than maybe it ought to. What are you guys doing? Yeah, this seems like pretty easy pickings here for Landrum's cav. Should be able to move right in here. So I can see where the AI is sending them, and that's all perfectly reasonable. AI, see, there's the problem is that, and this is something that Debs has said, the AI can't differentiate between skirmishers and the line, and they really don't want to be sending artillery shells at skirmishers. I don't think. Although they are in the field, whereas these guys are in cover, so maybe it makes sense, but I don't think it does. The real solution is to either the AI has it, counter skirmish, or just press your line up, move it up quickly, and that will brush the skirmishers back. But this is not at all. He's going to lose Ross pretty quickly. Before any sort of friendly support comes, these guys look like they're going to put on their water walking shoes. They're thinking about it. And again, you know, they don't, well, something off there with the pathfinding, I think. But it's not a terrible idea to try to get on this corner. But we already have some pretty good in place entrenchments here. We have the forest as a backup, and this kind of cuts off your ability to further support it. And even if you make it up to that tree line, the actual point you need to take is further at the back. So I was gonna give you a reprieve, but since the AI is not allowing me, we're learning how the AI thinks here. And yeah, I think, you know, on a pretty limited front from here to here, with the size of the force they have, it's okay. I mean, they might be able to jam up enough troops that the cover concealment bonuses that I'm getting here aren't enough. I did want these guys in the forest though, so that we could get a little bit more protection. Maybe we'll get that that side shot that we had in the last battle. I thought was kind of cool. That was a cool shell. I thought that was pretty cool. All right, let's go out and see if we can see the armies. I didn't even realize there's like this little hill up here. This little gully. And in case you're wondering, yeah, I know that Dana is still over here. I do. We will move Dana back here. As long as there's nothing, I don't see anything creeping down here, so I'm okay. I think that looks pretty cool, man. Here in the open ground, the AI might have wanted to throw out skirmishers. They're not looking for a real quick engagement. I don't know. I doubt the reinforcements have shown up. No, they haven't. Who did they give the advantage? Yeah, to us. So their main line's pushing the skirmishers back. That is a way to do it. I think that they probably wanted to strike though when they had their second division before I had mine. Check the left. Looks clear. The idea here is to just keep this regiment back. In case the CSA try to shoot that gap, we have a bit of a flesh speed bump there. Okay, we'll move the infantry up there. We're gonna pull the cav back because believe it or not, I actually do want it to survive. And I think, yeah, that other Union regiment, I want to bring that up there. Alright, Gatlin is in trouble. Ooh, boy. I thought this was going to be a big, long battle, but I think because the AI didn't wait for its reinforcements and to get a bit of an advantage, they're not going to be able to do it. But now that I know how the map worked out, where they had to come from, I don't know if it would have been worth it. I mean, that 3-hour window would have closed real quickly, where they had a numerical advantage, and they didn't even make it really to the Abatis out here. Yeah, Stevens is nervous. Elzey's gonna try to pull out. Wow. Looks like some shell just hit them dead center. Oh, there's 2 regiments out here. Alright, but neither of them are in great condition. Stevens is about to run. Okay. Boggs looks like he's getting artied. Can reform Truix to try to shoot Boggs, but I think the damage has been done there, and again, Dana is over here, kind of on the left. If we needed to move him up, we could do that, but I think we're okay for now. And I expect to get news soon. That's the news I expect to get soon. It's a little too bad, because I was kind of hoping this might be a little bit more of an epic battle, but, you know, maybe it's better if the AI pull out. Having lost fewer than 2,000, and of course it's going to be much less because I can pretty much only get rid of the dead and the wounded, but that was going to be a tough attack. If I were the AI, if I was basically the CSA in that case, I don't know what I would have done differently. I probably would have just withdrawn from the battle. We'll pull out because I feel like I'm going deaf from all that artillery. But yeah, I think I would have just pulled out of that battle and not even tried the attack. It ends up being, you know, number of killed. It's a bigger morale problem. I see that I'm knocking off some of their arty and other things. For a battle, I don't think there was ever a chance. So, but that's just me. Maybe they wanted to try to retake Nashville before winter set in. You can see it's the end of November here. And try to hold it over the winter. I don't know if the AI was that forward thinking, but it's a nice roleplay explanation, I think. Brigadier General Couch, he was just the overall corps commander. Other than just marching him around a few times at the beginning of the battle, he really didn't do anything. But I guess he'll get all the credit for that, so must be nice, right? And yeah. I don't know, at an hour, what are we, an hour and 16 minutes in? I feel like these battles have been flying by, which is okay. Not every battle has to be the most epic. I feel epic. I had my septic pumped today, so it's why I said epic when I meant epic. But anyways, I told you that to tell you nothing. Let's, there. Now that should look a bit smoother. Yeah, so it's another win here. You know, we'll see how the readiness shakes out here. Maybe it's okay, maybe it isn't. Kentucky, it's actually up to 39% Union support. Yeah, I'd really like to do something about Walker's division. I'm happy to see that these divisions are now regaining some readiness. Is Sheridan already... Whoa. Level is there, alright. I mean, we can do that for a little bit. Once we get good enough readiness, we'll take them out of scouting. Burns, yeah, Burns can stay in scouting because he's not going to reinforce anybody from there. But I was looking at Walker's division before that last battle, and I'm thinking 6,000 troops, 10 guns. You know, we should be we should be able to beat them, though we may not. What's morale like? Confident? That's pretty good. I think we got to try to knock Walker out of here. I don't want him setting up shop in Indiana or anything like that. So, yeah, let's try to get him gone. Over here, well, I'm gonna send Gibbons over to the railroad, and maybe I'll send Reynolds as his escort. But let them ride the rails back if there's nothing there, and Gibbon can just fall back here. Lyon is out here getting his readiness back. He has earned the break. Dude, are they just gonna fall back if we touch them? Okay, well, we got to find out a little bit. I guess moving at 1x is not the fastest way to move through all this, and that makes sense. I know that we were looking. Okay, they're almost up to their first perk, which means we can then have them also attack forts. But I think we were looking for Port Royal, yeah? Yeah, and so we took Fort Walker. So we got Port Royal, and I believe if I return you to port, yes, you'll get that level 2 port. So we'll send those 3 squadrons in there to get repaired. And after that, I think the next one is to attack. Yeah, it's a level 2 fort. It's a bit rough. Fort Clinch should give us Fernandina. And once that happens, yeah, well, I think that's the last one we're going to get on the East Coast until we pull into the Gulf. Curtis's division, 3rd Division. Oh, time for more battlefield bling. There we go. All right, and we scattered Walker. All right. So bring Burns back. I know it's enemy territory, but still, I want somebody actually in Louisville. Sheridan Lovell doing their thing. Whipple. Skilled cartographers, embedded reporters. I don't think this is going to do anything, but I'm going to try it anyways. Oh yeah, that's right. Where are my manners? The more custom flags, the better. Though it is winter quarters, I mean, they're all in green readiness. I mean, right now they're probably just drilling and increasing their combat effectiveness. I'm a little surprised that my support in Virginia is only 20%. All right, they're going to retake Richmond, but, you know, they're just going to retake Richmond. It is what it is. McDowell will probably need the entire winter. Yeah, 120 days. Yeah. Sanford? He'll do it in 99. And Meade in 120 days. So, all right, we'll see. But maybe it's time to put you all on pause. I don't think... All right, Confederacy passed the Revenue Act. So, good for their finances, bad for their support. And honestly, we should not be far behind them. Oh, I read this wrong. I had just started the Bank Act. I thought I was almost done with it. All right, so yeah, I'm not almost done with it. All right, so if we're repairing the Navy, I know there's some things we want to do in the Brownwater Navy, which is basically get the Ohio Squadron up and running. I don't know why the forts don't show up here. I don't know if it's... You know, this is supposed to be a summer scenario. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the Mississippi Squadron's back. Well, even if they get rid of the Ohio Squadron, I don't care. I mean, it's fine. Is this true? Is this actually going on? I feel like I've brushed Tillman's division out several times. Coleman's division, Frost. All right, well, if Frost's division is actually that large, let's move north and meet him. Reynolds, eh. 3rd Corps HQ. Probably just keep him where he is. That sounds like a naval engagement. Because it is a naval engagement. Yeah, we're just... That's a lot. That's a lot of active ships, man. Yeah, we ought to lose that. That's okay. All right, I think it's time to wrap this episode because I don't see too many more land battles coming in. Disaster. Well, guys, it was a terrible squadron, so... All right. What is this? Is this one of those that I can only auto-resolve because I don't have enough readiness? It looks that way. Well, I don't like that. So, not that it's going to be a feature of this episode, but I want Kilpatrick in there. Oh, Patterson's division isn't in touch with it. All right. In contact with it. Got it. Well, let's see if Kilpatrick can get himself involved. How big is Wheeler's division? It's not huge. Readiness is too low, yeah. Oh, there's actually 10,000 there, it says. Oh, because it's division of the Shenandoah. So I would guess if I move Patterson up, it should help, right? Or Sanford, sorry. So Patterson's in contact. I still can't fight it? Oh, bummer. Now I wonder what happens if Kilpatrick does arrive. Is he going to have enough readiness? Is anyone going to have enough readiness? I don't know. Did I build it? I did build a supply depot here. And nobody says that they're starving. Which is nice. I don't know, maybe we do something there. Come on, Kilpatrick. Let me know if I... Alright, so I guess it's... Gives me... Estimated length of engagement. A mere 27-day engagement. Left. Well, of course Kilpatrick can get there in time for that. Can he? Alright. Do it, Kilpatrick. You're on camera here. I guess it's 2 a.m., so... Do something, man. Alright, tell me I can fight this. Thank you for telling me I can fight this. Let's wait a moment. Just a moment. To see if Kilpatrick actually can fight this. Because it wasn't showing him as... Okay, so 3 Federal Brigade... What? Oh yeah, that's right. It says brigades. It means divisions. It's text that I don't know how to change. So I don't think I can. We could win it in auto-resolve. Well, that's kind of a gimme for the CSA, isn't it? I really wanted to fight that, but it is probably going to be a little easy, right? 5,000... It's 10,000 troops against maybe 25,000. Yeah, yeah. After all that, all I did was manage to get Kilpatrick down into the red, but he should be back soon. And we'll send them boys back to Richmond. Do I want to send Kilpatrick back to friendly territory to get better. Maybe. How long are these guys? So they'll take 2 months. Wadsworth looks like he's doing pretty well. 61 days. More. Yes, more flags. All right, that seems like a fine place to wrap things. All right, somebody's pulling back from Nashville. Maybe that was the previous battle. Maybe it's something else. Next episode we might be able to launch an attack out of here. If we have nothing but green readiness, like when you're all the way jacked up on readiness, and there's an attack you could make, I don't really see the point of not making it. You know, it's a resource that's waiting to be used. Reynolds. All right, Reynolds is down to yellow, so you guys are kind of both. I've run you around too much. And yeah, I see the supply situation's not getting great. So I can send them back towards St. Louis and supplies. Yeah. If you use the rails, you'll burn far less readiness than if you have to actually go and march in this weather, so let's try to do that. There, we don't have to do the double quick. And yeah, it's going to wrap it. So I hope you enjoyed this one. We are moving into wintertime, so maybe I'll just do a whole bunch of stuff off screen. It's probably about the time at the end of 61 where I'll hop over to the CSA side and tighten up their OOBs. There's probably, I don't know what their credit is. Probably not that much I can do in terms of buying stuff. Their policies, acts, and subsidies should be good, but if they're not, this is a good time to correct them before too much more of the campaign goes on. So that's, I think that's something I'll look forward to doing off screen, and then I'll come back in. I'll correct all the AI's mistakes it made on my side while it was on my side, even though the game was paused, and then I can actually bring you back and show you more. So I am looking forward to that, even if it doesn't sound like I'm looking forward to getting back to battling. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and hope to have you back for the next one.